Fam, I hope you're doing well. This is your brother Zion. Listen, I'm sending this video out to all the men, not exclusively, because I know that there are a lot of sisters that follow, and I think that you should, because every woman that's listening to this, you are connected to a man somehow. If not, you wouldn't be here. Be it your father, your grandfather, your brother, your uncle, your nephew, your cousin, your next door neighbor, your pastor, whoever. But I'm sending this out to all the men, all the brothers, all the street warriors, all the soldiers, all the kings. This is a time of confession. And this stems from a conversation that I had earlier. And I'm allowed to do some self-evaluation and introspection because I really believe that God wants to heal our souls. I was in the gym and I ran into a guy that I used to work out with. He's always in beast mode. This dude is a beast. He experimented with steroids, and you can tell that he is absolutely hardcore. He has the ideal job. He makes $80,000 to $85,000 a year. He has a house that he's building, a nice truck that he drives. And oftentimes we make unwise decisions as it relates to steroids and what we put in our bodies that's synthetic and that can contribute to medical conditions on down the line. But it's amazing to just look the part what we would do, even at the sacrifice of our own bodies. But the point of this video is that he and I were conversing. And I asked him, I said, are you still with the old girl? How y'all doing? Man, I'm not with her anymore. As a matter of fact, my new girl is right over there working out. I said, oh, okay, cool. How long have y'all been together? A couple of months. Then he said something interesting. He said, you know what, man? He said, I can never think of a time where I have been faithful to a woman. I have always cheated with every woman that I've ever been with. And I was like, wow. I said, confessions. Well, you're ministering to me now. Allow me to minister back to you. Do you know something? I can never think of a time in my life where I have ever been alone. You, on the other hand, you say that there's never been a woman that you've been faithful to. I can never think of one time, whereas I have never had a woman in my life, be it a relationship or be it just dating, going out, there's always been a woman. I would be in a relationship, the relationship ends, boom, here comes another woman. In a relationship, the relationship ends, we split up, she goes her way, I go my way, boom, there's another one to take her place. I can never think of a time when I have had a time, an era, or a season of just being alone. And oftentimes, I would hold on to the relationship like a person holds on to a knife, but not by the handle, by the blade. And she's holding on to the knife, but by the handle. She has a safe grip, and she's pulling away out of the relationship, but I'm holding on to the relationship by the blade. And as she pulls, I pull, but she pulls, and I almost ripped my hand off. And so now it's time for surgery to repair the damage because of codependency, because of shame, not wanting to feel alone or abandoned or rejected, which goes all the way back to childhood. So what am I saying? God wants to heal us as men. Because oftentimes we hear the cliche that hurt people, and that's so true. But I think the fact of the matter is, we don't like being alone. We have a problem with being alone. Being alone means that something is wrong with us. But God can deal with our hearts and restore the brokenness of our souls in a room full of people. But He's most effective when we're alone. I look at Joseph in the Bible. He was in the pit alone, in prison alone. Elijah the prophet found himself on the run for his life in a cave alone. Paul in prison alone. Jesus in prison alone. John the Baptist in prison alone. Jeremiah the prophet in prison alone. It's something about being alone when we come face to face with ourselves, but face to face with our restorer of our soul, which is God, that he can repair all of the damages to our wounded souls of shame, rejection, abandonment, low self-esteem, inadequacy, and codependent relationships. It's something about being alone that makes a man, that recreates a man, and that brings a man to a place of reformation and transformation. So I just want to give a shout out to all the kings out there, all the queens out there, because this may apply to you, that we stay busy about nothing when God wants to be about something in our time of being alone, so he can heal and restore us, that we can be mentally fit, spiritually fit for the one that he has for us. Peace and blessings. Love you to life.